Hey guys, hello and welcome to Naveed for Speed. In today's video, I am going to be exploring and driving this car right here. It's the Maserati GranTurismo. Now, the GranTurismo for me is the most evocative name in the car industry. And that's because I grew up in an era where I played the GranTurismo racing games. And of course, Maserati itself has a rich racing heritage. And you can see some of the features that are inspired by their racing history in some of their cars. Now in this video, I am going to be exploring the exterior of this car. I'm going to be showing you around the interior of the car, and then I'm going to take it out on the road to see exactly how it feels out on the road. Now, I've never actually driven the Maserati GranTurismo, and it's a car that I'll be wanting to drive for a long time. So this is a first drive sort of video, just a first impressions, but I'm going to try and get through as much as I can because there's a lot to talk about. So let's start at the front of the car. We'll start with the exterior, and right here at the front, you can see this front grille area, which is obviously typical Maserati design, but it reminds me of the 250F that Fangio won the Formula 1 World Championship in. That sort of design at the front here, which all the air can go into. I think it looks really cool. And you can see the Maserati Trident over here and the Maserati badge at the top and the front as well. And then you come back to see this bonnet, this sort of long bonnet. Obviously that is to fit the 3-litre twin-turbo V6 engine. I'll talk more about how much power this car has shortly, and I'll tell you about the trim level. As we keep coming further towards the side of the car, you can see here we've got this 20-inch alloy wheel. This car sits on 20-inch alloy wheels at the front and 21-inch alloy wheels at the back. And you'll notice that it's got these red brake calipers over here, and that's because this is the Trofeo model. If you didn't already know that, it says Trofeo over here. There are 3 versions that you can get the GranTurismo in. You can get the entry-level version, which comes with around 490 horsepower and 600 Newton meters of torque. You got this Trofeo version, which comes with 550 horsepower and 650 Newton meters of torque. And then you've got the Folgore version, which is the electric version. Now I am going to be driving the electric version, and I'm going to be making a video on it. So subscribe to this channel if you want to see that video where I'll compare it to this V6 version as well. Now, as we keep coming further towards the side of the car, I do want to actually very quickly mention this sort of feature here, these 3 vents. Typical Maserati design. It adds that aggressiveness, that sharp design to the car. I think it looks really cool. But yeah, when we look at the side profile of the car, you can see how long it is. This car is 496 centimeters long, so it's just shy of 5 meters long, and the wheelbase is just shy of 3 meters as well. So it's a relatively long wheelbase, and obviously that should mean that you get loads of legroom. The GranTurismo is a 2+2 car, so you can get 4 passengers and a driver in the car as well. And I'll talk more about the interior when I take you inside the car. But you'll also notice around the side here, you've got this sort of skirt at the bottom, which has this carbon fiber effect. Well, it's made out of carbon fiber actually, so it's I think it looks really cool. There is loads of carbon fiber throughout this car. As we move towards the back of the car, you'll see this Trident logo over here. But then when we get to the very back of the car, now this is where you'll see, especially lower down, you'll see the twin tailpipes on either side. Silver tailpipes look pretty cool. You can see loads of carbon fiber bits on the side here, and you've got this diffuser at the bottom here, which I think looks really cool. So all in all, it looks like a really cool design. And let me show you the interior. So let me show you around the interior of the Maserati GranTurismo, because it is a really nice place to be. Of course, this is a luxury brand, so that's what you should expect. There's loads of really cool materials throughout the car. You've got your leathers with your contrasting stitching, which you can see over here. You've got your dark chrome over here, and in some parts of the car, you can even see this carbon fiber weave pattern over here, which I think looks really cool. Let me tell you about these seats, because the seats, upon first feeling, it feels a little bit firm, but it's got this really nice leather in there with the contrasting stitching, and the Trident logo in the headrest as well matches the rest of the car. The steering wheel in front of you is leather as well. This particular one is heated. It's an optional extra, so that should be quite useful on a day like today where it is a little bit chilly. I'm just going to start the car using this stop start button, which is rather small, but I'll just start the car there. And you can hear that a V6 come to life. But I'll just show you some more features around the interior, because I want to show you this infotainment screen over here. So this is a 12.3-inch screen over here, and it's responsive to your touch, but it does seem to take a little bit of time to load the features that you want to go on. but you can connect your phone up to this as well, so you can use that. It looks really handy. It looks quite nice. And that's because when it's turned off, it looks completely black, as you just saw a short while ago. Down here, you'll see this 8.8-inch screen which controls the climate control, and it controls the seat position and stuff like this. Down here, you can also change your volume using this button over here, well, this touch pad over here on the left hand side. So I think all this comes together really nicely. We don't always like touch screens for climate controls, but because they're separate to the main touchscreen, you don't have to go through a load of menus. That's really convenient. What I don't necessarily like are these buttons over here for your drive modes. I usually quite like them to be in a rotary dial or something like that, whereas pressing the buttons, once you start to get used to where each button is, so you know where the drive is and the reverse is without having to look, that's actually convenient then as well. Up here, you've got this digital clock face, which I think does look pretty cool. It has this sort of knurling design around it. I think it looks really nice. In front of the driver, you get a 12.2-inch digital screen, and I think that really looks good. Again, I'll tell you a little bit more about how that feels when I take it out onto the road. But otherwise, the rest of this interior, I think, looks really quite cool. There's slight little touches, which just makes it feel that little bit premium. You've got this nice headlining over here. You've got just over here in front of the passenger, you'll see the Italian tricolore, which I think looks really nice. You got the GranTurismo logo just over here in front of the passenger as well, and then just a little switches for the air vents and stuff like this. I think they look and feel really good. I do have to mention the door handles. Well, I say door handles. How do you open the doors? Well, there's a button down here to press, and then that's how you open the doors. You'll also see over here on the passenger side the door sill with the Maserati lettering in there. Again, I think it looks really cool. But anyway, I think the entire luxury experience comes together quite well. Not a lot of space for the rear passengers, but there is 4 seats. So if you have children, especially younger children, they might be able to fit in there really well. I don't know necessarily about adults, but I think, yeah, it seems like it all comes together really well. So let's take it on the road and see exactly what it feels like. So what is it like to drive the Maserati GranTurismo? Well, this is my first impressions, this is my first drive, and what is the first thing that I'm noticing? I'm noticing that V6 engine. You can just about hear it. Now, I know traditionally Maserati GranTurismos have come with V8 engines, and this is a V6, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it still has tons of power. It has the V6 Nettuno engine from the Maserati MC20. Except in this case, it produces 550 horsepower and 650 newton meters of torque. That's because this one has a wet sump, whereas the MC20s has a dry sump. And of course, it's just tuned up a little bit more as well. But there's plenty of power in this car. And I think despite this being a Grand Tourer, it has that sort of racing appeal. You can feel that in the way that it drives. It's quite firm. It's, the suspension is always there to try and give you the grip, especially on bumpy roads where, the car might be moving along really well. But it keeps everything nice and stable. But it can be a little bit on the firm side, especially when you feel it through these seats as well. These seats are a bit firm and they don't necessarily hold you into place very well. But I think for longer journeys, this is amazing. It's comfortable, especially on the longer roads, for example. It can just sort of float along. The faster roads, it could just float along. It can just, to eat up the miles. This is perfect. You've got a really good seating position. You are sat quite high up. You are sat quite low, but you don't feel like you're sat quite low. I've got tons of visibility out the front, especially out the sides as well. And even out the back, I've got decent visibility, albeit my visibility out the back is looking slightly up rather than straight. But otherwise, it's really good. How does everything else feel in this car? The steering wheel. Now, the steering wheel is nice and light. Now I know this car does come with loads of different driving modes. I'm not being able to use those modes today because I am on sort of unfamiliar roads, but it comes with sport modes and Corsa modes, which do tighten everything up, and it changes the throttle response, and it changes the steering wheel feel, makes those exhaust sounds that little bit better. But I mean, I can try and put it into one of the modes now, but I won't be driving that fast. Yeah, you can certainly feel that a little bit more right now. But yeah, the steering wheel now has started to get a bit heavier, but regardless of whether it's in comfort mode, in you know, normal mode, or in your race mode, your sport mode, it's still quite direct. I'm not having to judge how much steering angle I have to put in. One thing that I do have to try and judge is the brakes, however. So when I do put my foot on the brakes, I'm second guessing myself, and I have to put that little bit more brake input in there. But ultimately, this is a wonderful car. It really is the sort of car which I would love to eat up the miles in. So yeah, I mean, this has been a very quick video, and I hope it's been an engaging video. I hope you've learned a little bit about this car if you're interested in buying it, or if you just like Maseratis. I mean, they are that epitome of luxury, that sort of Italian flair that they have. I quite like the cars. I quite like the brand. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you do want to hear about the electric version of this car, then stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you there. Thank you and take care.